Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening. Some of you all will have to shift this side. This side is so empty. Sit down, rest of you. ए तू इधर जाइए मेरा जगह है. I'll need space. Some boys can sit here. Two boys. Who are the two sitting? Two बैठा था ना first bench पे last. You and you. You can't wait for the break. You start eating when I'm in the class. तो क्या भूखा प्यासा आता है क्या? घर पे नहीं खाने को देती है मम्मी? हम उस दिन रोजा था. Is it? But then you should have taken my permission at least. Sorry. Let's say good. Come, you all sit here. Now over now, you finished with your rosa. Where is the biryani? Some boys can come now. You are extending it there. Aja, yeah. Why are you hiding? Are you both comfortable there? One can move here. So who's the one who had to give me the figures of speech to two children? Difference between which were those two students? Who were those two students? Metaphor and personification. Right? You four only now. Why are you seeing now? भूल गया एक वीक में. बता. तू ही वो दिन नीचे पूछ रहा था ना तेरी फ्रेंड को. Who was that? Which friend was helping you? हाँ, who are those boys? He and these four were all together. These four, all four tell. Vishal. पर personification में difference क्या है? नहीं ऐसे लाइन से जाते हैं. बता. Personification and anyway, whether I'm saying personification apostrophe, it doesn't matter to them. After the break, you'll tell me. The little match girl. Tell me to be better. So today we'll do the little match girl and we'll also take up active passive voice. Those and join with by using not only buttons. How many? 5 or 10 sentences? How many have done it? Raise your hand. 10. Done it. Yes, but also not. Wait. Keep your hands raised. You are exemplary. Ready? Stand up. Those are not stand up. Incomplete. I not brought it. Those are not done. Stand. Those are not done. Not brought. But book done. you for the homework. Stand up, those who have done. Those who have done, stand. Those who have done and have got the book, stand. You have done and you have got the homework. Bring your notebook here. So, who all are standing? Those who have done the homework and have brought the books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sit down. Now those 6 students stand up. You are standing or you are sitting? First class. You are exempted. You are exempted. You're from which school? Who's teaching you which class? Who's teaching you English? English. Who's your class teacher? Geography? You all have Girija or Sampada? Then how can you sit? So why have you all come without the homework? You didn't bring your book. Why didn't you bring your book? Forgot book, but you have to bring her anyway. Huh? He is doing work. You are assisting them. Now you are completing. Sit down. Next time better come with your work completed. Huh? Don't do this. And you are showing me the grammar book. What's your name? D. Surname? Surname. Where do you stay? Where do you stay? Sector 5 is where? Acha, wo side. I know Ranveer stayed there, so you are in the same society. Okay, so first sentence was?
There are problems with children. There are problems.
Give the answer.
There are not only problems with the children, but also with their parents.
Okay, one by one. There are problems not only with their parents. There are problems not only with the children, but also with their parents. Next.
He can make people laugh.
So he can not only make people laugh, but also cry. Next, can make them cry. Next, or not only. Now next sentence you tell me with not only in the beginning. Next sentence is what?
Not only she writes and
Not only does she write plays, but also acts in movies. Next sentence. Question sentence.
I sent him many letters. I also tried.
Not only in the beginning. Not only did I send him, but also. Next question. We visit our. But also in winter. No need to repeat. Next sentence. She can dance, she can sing. And if you write not only in the beginning, not only can she dance, but also sing. Next. They need food, they need medicine. They not only need food, but also medicine. Not only do they need food, but also medicine. Next sentence.
He has been late 4 times. He hasn't done anything.
Not only Has he been late 4 times, but also, and he has not only been late 4 times, but also, next sentence, she was, but also angry, and not only was she upset, but also angry. Next sentence. So,
Ma'am,
we are
ma'am,
but also,
ma'am, ninth one can be he was not only upset but also angry. Can
yes,
it be?
yes, correct. Next, we're done with them. Okay. Have you all been given any syllabus? Which chapter? Little Match Girl and Blue Bead, Angel in Disguise is not given. Or Merchant of Venice. You all have it after June, after May. Okay, what we'll do after this, we'll do Little Match Girl. After that, we'll do Blue Bead. After that, we'll do Angel in Disguise. Blue Bead, you all have Blue Bead also. In your assessment is there, na? What did you say?
We are having
I know why I haven't done with you, no? Okay, we'll do both. We'll do one this, one this, one this, one this. We'll do like that. Now we are doing Little Match. Who's without a textbook? Keep your pencils in your hands and your textbook on your desk. Textbook किसका नहीं है? Book लाने को कौन मना किया? You're the only ones. Everyone has share with you. First open this page 87. Pencils in your hands, so any kind of meanings or anything you want to write, you should be able to. I'm reading this intro first. Hans Christian Andersen was a Danish writer, best known for his fairy tales. However, his stories are not restricted to children alone and have themes of universal appeal that transcend age and culture. Transcend is go beyond age and culture. It's not only restricted to children. Andersen had a very unhappy childhood, and much of his stories reflect this sadness, dealing with loss and death. Okay, even this story, most of you all, I think, know, you all would have done it in school, right? So even this story is about loss, sadness, death, torture for the little girl, poverty, right, where the girl was starving. The Little Match Girl is one such. Set around Christmas, The story tells of a little girl who is unable to sell her matchsticks, dies of cold and hunger on the street, even as people are celebrating the birth of the Christ child inside their warm, cozy homes. The tale is rich in irony, imagery, and symbols, emphasizing the need for compassion for those who have so much less than we do. Need for compassion, in what way did you realize that there was no compassion shown by people in this story? What is compassion? Empathy, caring for the poor, not being selfish.
What marks
Yes, no one bought matchsticks from her, and also,
people to progress.
yes, that boy, yes, the boy who just took away her slippers and made fun of her. And also, people were in their houses, they were celebrating, and just outside the same house, you had this girl who was starving to death, and they were unbothered about her. They were celebrating New Year's. Hmm? It was like the 31st night. Okay. There it is. But then if you see the story, it says that on the eve of New Year. Okay. So we'll start with the story. It was bitterly cold, snow was falling, and darkness was gathering, for it is the last evening of the new year. Huh? See, the first line itself says that it was New Year's Eve. In the cold and gloom, write down sadness. Sorry? Yeah, gloom is dullness, but here it's more with respect to sadness. In the cold and gloom, a poor little girl walked bareheaded, nothing on her head to keep herself warm, and barefoot through the streets. She had been wearing slippers, it is true, when she left home, but what good were they? They had been her mother's, so you can imagine how big they were. The little girl had lost them as she ran across the street to escape from two carriages that were being driven terribly fast. So, what was the girl wearing? Her mother's slippers. Obviously, they were oversized. And how did she lose them? Yes, there were some carriages approaching her. She was trying to run fast and she lost those. Those came off her feet. One slipper could not be found, and a boy had run off with the other, saying that it would come in very handy as a cradle someday when he had children of his own. So here it's not actually true, but obviously he was making fun of her. He was joking of her that because the slippers were so big, he made fun of her saying that I'll use it as a cradle. Cradle is what? Yes, like a jhula on which a baby sleeps. So he says, I'll use it as a cradle. So here, can you see lack of empathy? Can you see that selfish attitude where, even though it was her mother's slipper, at least it gave her some protection. But this boy didn't bother and he said, I'll use it as a cradle. See, in this story, there is no reference of her mother. They have said that yes, her father was there who would beat her if she went home. And the grandmother is also there. Yes, the grandmother has passed away. So the little girl walked about the streets on her naked feet, which were red and blue with the cold. In her old apron, she carried a great many matches. So she carried a lot of matchsticks. And she had a packet of them in her hand as well. So she was wearing an apron. In her apron, there were a lot of matchboxes. and in her hand she carried one. Nobody had bought any from her, and no one had given her a single penny all day. Okay, so that again shows the uncaring, unempathetic people. Listen, there are some of you laughing there. I cannot continue teaching. If you continue laughing and grinning like this, I would rather teach without you all being here. Is there anything funny that I'm teaching? Is there anything funny about what we are speaking? Then what is funny, the funny in what you all are talking about? Why are you all laughing? कब से चालू है मैं इग्नोर कर रही हूँ लेकिन बार बार मैं नहीं कर सकती रिपीटेडली चलेगा तो नहीं चलेगा आई एम सॉरी इट विल नॉट डू all four of you all of you all of you those who are pointing fingers at someone and that someone also on whom fingers are being pointed everyone. She crept along, shivering and hungry, a picture of misery, poor little thing. Okay, so she was cold, she was bareheaded, she was bare feet, she hadn't been able to sell any matches. The snowflakes fell on her long golden hair, which curled so prettily about her neck. But she did not think of her appearance now. Why didn't she think of her appearance now? Yes, because she was more concerned that her matchstick should sell, and also she was feeling extremely cold. She was outside, she was feeling cold, and she was hungry also. So at such a time, you're not going to think about your appearance. Lights were shining in every window, and there was a glorious smell of roast goose in the street, for this was New Year's Eve, and she could not think of anything else. So she was hungry, and there was people were all feasting, and there was what aroma? Aroma of roast goose on the streets. She huddled down in a heap in a corner formed by two houses, one of which projected further out into the street than the other. But though she up, tucked her little legs up under her, she felt colder and colder. So where did she sit?
Between the gaps of
There were two houses, one of which projected further than the other. Means you can imagine like two bungalows, like row houses, where there will be a corner formed, no? तेरे फादर को फोन करूंगी मैं. हाँ. तेरे को डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है तो तू जगह you're free to change your place. I'm not forcing you to sit there. So it's like imagine having two houses next to each other, but one is a little behind. Okay, you have one house here and another house which is adjacent to it. But there is one which is a little behind. So there is this corner form, no? So in one corner where she would be warm, where you wouldn't have, and it would offer her a warm place to sit. She tucked up her little legs, means when you feel cold, you get your body closer, no? So that's what she did. But it didn't help. She kept feeling colder and colder. She did not dare to go home, for she had sold no matches, nor earned a single penny, and earned not a single penny. Her father would be sure to beat her, and besides, it was so cold at home, for they had nothing but the roof above them, and the wind whistled through that, even though the largest cracks were stuffed with straw and rags. What are rags? Old, torn, worn out clothes. What were the two reasons for which she didn't want to go home? One, her father would beat her up, and second, it was too cold in her house. The roof had holes, even though the larger ones had been stuffed with straws and rubber. Her thin hands were almost numb with cold. If only she dared pull just one small match from the packet, strike it on the wall, and warm her fingers. Now, over there next to that paragraph, write one. You need to remember how many she struck. And in the first, when she lit the first match, what did she envision? In the second match, what did she see? Third match, what did she see? What happened when she lit the fourth match? So this is the first match. She pulled one out, scratch. How it spluttered and burnt. It had a warm, bright flame, like a tiny candle, when she held her hand over it. But what a strange light! It seemed to the little girl as if she were sitting in front of a great iron stove with polished brass knobs and brass ornaments. Underline this part. What did she see? As if she was sitting in front of a great iron stove with polished knobs and polished brass knobs and brass ornaments. The fire burned so beautifully and gave out such a lovely warmth. Oh, how wonderful that was. So why did she imagine this? Why did she imagine it? Because she was feeling cold. Basically, whatever you imagine is what you're not able to get in your real life, what you need. So she was feeling cold at that time. So she imagined something that was warm. Okay. Just like what else had she imagined? The roasted goose. Why did she think of the roasted goose? Because she was hungry. Her grandmother she saw. Why did she see her grandmother? She was missing not only her grandmother, she was missing the love in her life, which only her grandmother gave. So whatever she didn't have in her life, she was imagining. Oh, how wonderful that was. The child had already stretched her feet to warm them. Two, when out went the flame. The stove vanished, and there she sat with the burnt match in her hand. So first match she lit, what did she see? A great iron stove with. Now the second match, right? Two over there. She struck another. So this was the second match that she struck. It burnt clearly, and where the light fell upon the wall, which wall? The house, the brick wall that she was, the house that she was sitting next to. And where the light fell upon the wall, the bricks became transparent like gauze. She could see right into the room where a shining white cloth was spread on the table. So she saw through the first, the walls became transparent like gauze. Then she saw through it and she saw white cloth spread on a table, shining white cloth spread on the table. What was there on it? It was covered with beautiful china. China is crockery. It was covered. Gauze is like, these net, like a net. It was covered with beautiful china, and in the center of it stood a roast goose stuffed with prunes and apples, steaming deliciously. So what did she see? On the white table, beautiful china, don't forget that also. And in the center of it, stuffed with prunes and apples. It was steaming delicious. And what was even more wonderful was that the goose hopped down from the dish, waddled across the floor with carving knife and fork in its back. So what happened? The Goose hopped down from the table, paddled across the floor towards her, and what was in its bag? Carving knife and fork. You have to remember everything properly. Then out went the match. So this was the second one that she saw. And nothing could be seen but the thick, cold wall. Now write number 3, the third match. She struck another match, and suddenly she was sitting under the most beautiful Christmas tree. It was much larger and much lovelier than the one she had seen last year through the glass doors of the rich merchant's house. 1,000 candles lit up the green branches, and gaily colored balls like those in the shop windows looked down upon her. So the Christmas tree was very beautifully decorated. And this was the most beautiful Christmas tree that she had ever seen, even more beautiful than the many candles on the Christmas tree rose higher and higher through the air. And she saw that they had now turned into big stars. So those candles, and imagine next that all those candles are rising up in the sky, in the air, and they are turning into stars. One of them fell, streaking the sky with light, okay, like a shooting star. Now someone is dying, said the little girl, for her old grandmother, the only one who had ever been good to her, but who was now dead, had said, whenever a star falls, a soul goes up to earth. So what did she think? Why did she think that somebody was dying? Who had told her? Grandmother. What had she said? Yes, whenever a star falls, there is a soul that goes. So obviously she saw a star falling and she thought that somebody is going to die. Now the fourth match. So first match, what did she see? Let these tell. Wait, let these, any four of you all tell. तू थोड़ा इधर हो जा. हाँ, बोलो. One of you all. Brass knobs and brass ornaments. Second, somebody else. No, first, what happened? Yes. Then what does she? Half up, half up.
After table was covered with shining white cloth and bits of china, and in between there was a roasted goose.
Then what happens to the roasted goose? No, no, same. Second one only. What happens? What does she see next? Wait. Drop. Hop down and what? Craving knife. Carving knife. And where does it go? Yes, it waddled in her direction. This was the second one. तूने कुछ बोला नहीं है, खाली बीच में नहीं, वो पीछे वाला. Third one, Krish. Preet. Who is Krish? Facebook. Preet, I'm asking. Third one. One, you'll see. Tell me what? तू डिस्टर्ब मत करा, अभी तक वो फुल आंसर देने वाला है, डिस्टर्ब मत कर. 10. You have not got the textbook also, you have no right for anything. Homework भी नहीं किया, textbook भी नहीं लाया. Yes, breathe.
Much larger and much larger than he saw
Yes.
last year.
Last year, where?
In the merchant's house.
In the rich merchant's house. How was it decorated? And where? Gaily colored balls. Gaily means what? Yes. Gaily colored balls. What happens next? Please, you only tell. Wait. If I ask you in Hindi, you will be able to tell. You can't say a word. Candles were rising up in the air. And then yes, one of them speaks. You will start speaking more in English. What is happening? I can understand. If I tell you answer Hindi mein bol, in 2 minutes you will tell me everything properly. So start speaking more in English and read more of English. Read some novels or any story books that you like. English books. What does he say afterwards? Okay. So, and then she imagines that it is one of the stars fall and it streaks the sky. And Krish, what does she think when she sees the star? Someone? Yes, she remembers her grandmother telling her. Her grandmother was the only one who had loved her. She remembers her grandmother saying that whenever a star falls, a soul goes up to the God, to God. Now the fourth match. She struck another match on the wall. Once more there was light, and in the glow stood her old grandmother. Oh, so bright and shining, and looking so gentle, kind, and loving. Granny, cried the little girl, oh, take me with you. I know you will disappear when the match is burnt out. You will vanish like the warm stove, the lovely roast goose, and the great glorious Christmas tree. Then she quickly struck all the rest of the matches she had in her packet, for she did so want to keep her grandmother with her. So what does she do now? She lights all the matches because she's so desperate to keep her grandmother. The matches flared up in such a blaze that it was brighter than broad daylight, and her old grandmother had never seemed so beautiful and so stately before. By stately, what do we mean? So elegant, so royal. She took the little girl in her arms and flew with her high up, oh, so high towards glory and joy. Now they knew neither cold nor hunger nor fear, for they were both with God. So what happened when she struck the fourth match? And then what did she do? What was she fearing?
Grandmother will vanish.
Grandmother will vanish. So what she did? She lit all the matches in one go. Then what happened? The matches flared up. Stately than ever before. And then she carried her with herself, and there was no hunger. See, now they knew neither cold nor hunger nor fear, because all these things she had faced on the earth, for they were both with God. Then, but in the cold dawn, In the corner formed by the two houses sat the little girl with rosy cheeks and smiling lips, dead, frozen to death on the last evening of the old year. So next morning she was found with rosy cheeks and smiling lips. Means what does this tell you? Yes, she died happily. She wanted to die because for her living on this earth was not possible now, and it was much better to die. Dying was better than anything else. Dead, frozen to death on the last evening of the old year. The dawn of the new year rose. Dawn of the new year means next morning. So 1st January morning. The dawn of the new year rose on the huddled figure of the little girl. She was still holding the matches and half a packet had been burned. She was evidently trying to warm herself. Evidently means it's obvious that it looked that she was trying to warm herself because she had all those burnt matches in her hand. People said, but no one knew what beautiful visions she had seen and in what a blaze of glory she had entered with her dear old grandmother into the heavenly joy and gladness of a new year. Nice story, no? Over there behind at the end of the book, there is some place. Write down over there. Contrasts highlighted in the story. Contrasts highlighted in the story. Indifference of father and love of her grandmother. Indifference of her father and love of her grandmother. Second, poverty. Poverty, put a dash, her condition. Her condition and wealth of people. And wealth of people. Third one, life and death, which she preferred. Life, comma, and death, which she preferred. Third one is life, contrast between life and death, which she preferred. Understood? First point is indifference of father and love of her grandmother. Elaborate this. How does this tell you, the story tell you this contrast? Indifference of father and love of her grandmother. What is the contrast? Hmm? Yes. Yes. The father. Yes, her grandmother had good. You're trying. Her grandmother had, and at least I know that okay, अभी कुछ और नहीं चल रहा है इनका. Her grandmother had shown her unconditional love, whereas the father, it was cold now. It was New Year's time when a child should be with her family. He had sent her out to earn money with no proper. It's not even that she was cared for, where she had warm clothes, right? And if she would have gone home, he would have beaten her. So that shows how mean he had been. So that shows the indifference of her father and the contrast against the love of her grandmother. Her grandmother was dead now, but still she wanted to go with her. She wanted that peace. Second was poverty, which is her condition, and wealth of the people. Here you have a girl who's hungry with matches, trying to sell. Other people are feasting, no, they are partying in their own houses. And life and death, which she preferred, contrast between life and death. So death, she preferred death rather than living. In the end also when she's died with a smile on her face. Okay. And one point you can write down somewhere there, be towards the poor. Be empathetic towards them. Yeah, you can say. Towards the poor. Empathetic spelling पता है ना? क्या है? ठीक है. चलो. You have 10 minutes more. What do you want to do for 10 minutes? Questions. Who has the resource book? I'll ask from there. Resource volume. दे दो एक कोई भी जो भी पहले पहुंचेगा. Volume only, volume. I got it. I got it. Okay. Girl had slippers on, but they were of no use. Why? One only. All I won't understand. You tell last bench. Because you will start your answer with. Because the girl had slippers on, but they were of no use. Because and no, and she had mentioned that she had lost them while she was trying to escape from carriages which were approaching her. Why was the girl out in the cold? What prevented her from going back home? Acha, now when you all start an answer, don't directly start with she. First you say the girl, refer to her, then you say she.
The girl was forced to sell plastics in the snow because the father had forced her for some money. She was forced not to go because the father would beat her because he had not done the security.
One more reason. The other reason was that
There
flew through them, though the larger tracks had been filled with straws. What did she visualize when she lit the second matchstick?
when she lit up the second matchstick, the walls of the houses got the walls of the house got transparent, and she saw people
Covered with
white. There was china,
beautiful china on it, in the center of it,
filled with apples and
stuffed with apples and prunes, and
then she saw that goose cooked down from the table and ran towards her, holding
the goose what down from the table? Hopped.
table and
With?
Carrying a knife, carving knife on his arm.
Yeah. With and he hopped and walked towards the girl. What happened to the candles on the Christmas tree that she imagined?
The candle, she imagined that the candles were going rising up in the sky and were turning into stars, and one of them fell, striking the surface,
Streaking the sky.
Streaking the sky, and she imagined a grandmother saying that someone is dying, because a grandmother.
Whenever a star a soul goes.
First falls on the surface, the soul goes up.
Okay. Let's ask this guy. Kaushal, next one's for you. Why did the girl say now someone is dying? नीचे क्या दे? ऊपर दे. Look up and answer. Up. Man, unmute. Why did the girl say now someone is dying?
The little girl saw that the star was going down, and she thought about her grandmother, that she said that whenever the star falls, someone is going, the soul,
A soul goes up.
a soul goes up to the God, and that's why she said that someone is going to die.
Oh. Then, what kind of relationship did the girl, one of the girls now, girls I didn't ask any, one of you now. What kind of relationship did the girl share with her father and grandmother? अरे अब पूछ फिर तू. हाँ.
Now, the relationship between the father and the one which she had with the grandmother was completely opposite.
Yeah.
Her father was very abusive and
Yeah.
he forced her to sell plastic out in the cold, even on New Year's Eve. While her grandmother, who passed away, she used to love her very much, and that is why she wanted to go with her.
Yeah, she preferred going with her than going back home and there. How does the story bring out the hope for a better life after death? How does the story bring out the hope of a better life after death? समझा क्या? Means after you die, you will be happier. How? So that's what they are asking in this. How does it bring out that hope?
There will be suffering when she died. After she died.
And you'll have to write a little bit about what suffering she was facing on earth. The girls, you'll have to start with that. The tortures and troubles that she faced on earth. Poverty, cold, father, house, everything. And then say that love. Both.
Girl had support things when she was alive. Her father's torture and poverty, and her houses were having holes in the roof, and the big cracks were filled with sand and straws. Then sell to get
She
some.
was also not celebrating New Year's Eve.
So after she died, she would have.
Yeah. She would be much more at peace, and she preferred dying. And then what else can be mentioned? Above her smiling lips up right. So means that's what she wanted. Also the fact that she did not want her grandmother to go. How do you come to know that? She lit, yes, she was so desperate that she lit all the matchsticks together so that she doesn't disappear. Okay. क्या हो गया? You all go through this material, okay, in the source book. Good. Who's yours? We'll close now. When I come back, we'll do active passive. Little math girl, put it on. Imagine if you are feeling so cold, how the girl must have. ये है ना जो मैं आने के बाद बाहर गया था वो दिन, वो who had said, कौन था वो?
आने के बाद बाहर गया था।
After I came, he went. Who was that? ये तो खाया था, ये नहीं गया. Oh, I'm observing everyone. मेरे पीठ पीछे क्या चलता है? Metaphor apostrophe. अच्छा चल बोल metaphor apostrophe. नहीं that's अच्छा बोलो पीछे वाले बोलो. हाँ तो लाइन से शुरू होती है. टेल जहाँ तू है वहाँ लाइन शुरू हो जाती है. चल टेल what is your name? Krish. That behind green Krishna. Tell metaphor personification. There that one. You कौन है? Preet. Tell. You don't know. Your partner. Your partner. Stand up धाप मारने को देख रहा है. नो means they are just trying to say something. Okay, say. And in personification we define a thing. In metaphor what do we do? Define the attributes of this first. Okay, give example. बिना समझे किया है ना. This is what happens when you try to just rectify something. 10. Okay, Krish 10. Sentence bata or meaning bata. Explanation. You can give the explanation in your notes. Stand, stand. 10. And personification with example. Personification you have understood. Metaphor you have not. समझा ही नहीं है ना.
First object is given the quality of the second object.
Example give. I explain. Explain.
Alex जो है वो
Animal. अरे उसमें animal कुछ लेना नहीं है. One didn't work out. We are comparing a human to an animal. तो इसमें what quality इसमें compare हो रहा है? So what in this case? Personification you all have understood, metaphor you all have understood. Full personification I think you'll be able to tell. Then no wait. Then example. Give example. Example, give me a sentence.
The mouse is quiet.
Okay. Who will explain metaphor? Sit. At least you all have attempted. Half is understood, half is not. Personification is understood. What is metaphor? Now you all listen, huh? That day why you all were caught? Because you all didn't listen to what somebody else was answering. Who was answering? I think she only said something which they didn't hear. So now at least listen to what he's saying.
Like they're comparing the qualities of Alex with the qualities of chicken. Like adds that.
Chicken, being a chicken is what? Means being a coward, being a hippo. So the qualities of this chicken. What? Yes, we are trying to say Alex is a coward. And it is comparison. It is comparison without using like or as. What is simile? Simile is comparison using like or as. What is metaphor?
Without like.
Comparison without using like. Because he is sly. Because he is sly, you can say. Foxes are supposed to be sly, cunning. Okay. Now coming to active passive voice. Should we put this AC on? Yes. Are you warmer now? आज बता ठंडा ही ना? हाँ अभी ठीक है. Once you start feeling cold, before that you tell me, switch on. Ram. So what does this show? Rest of you, only the one who's standing, let him talk. Rest of you, just keep your ears open. Okay? I know you all know everything. Just have some patience. Yes. He is the doer. He is the doer of the action or the subject. So what is the doer doing to the object? And reverse passive will be? Yes. Okay, good. So what other changes are we making here? We're making a change in the verb. We are keeping the tense the same. We do not change the tense. If it's past tense, it will remain past. If it's present, it will remain present. If it's future, it will remain future. Whereas in direct, indirect speech, what are we doing? We change the tense. Don't get confused this with direct, indirect. What is direct, indirect speech? Rakhi ma'am asked, how are you? Indirect speech will be, Rakhi ma'am asked how I was. Right? So here the tense will change. There are some cases where even in direct, indirect speech, the tense does not change. Rakhi ma'am said the sun rises in the east. Rakhi ma'am said that the sun rises in the east. The tense will remain the same. Coming back to this. So in active voice, you are focusing on what the doer is doing. The doer is also the subject. Whereas in passive voice, what are you focusing on? The object. Which is the object? This is the object. Which is the verb? This is the verb. Here, this is the object. What was done to Ravan? So Ravan was killed by Ram. So according changes in tense will take place. Now, how do you? So firstly, it's important for you to identify what the object is. How do you identify an object? Killed whom? Ravan. So to find out what an object is, you ask what, or you ask whom. Your example, I'll give you another one. My mother gifted me a bouquet. My mother gifted me a bouquet. Subject is gifted. Gifted. Why is there? Gifted what? What is DO? Direct object. So when you ask the question what, you come to know what the direct object is. When you ask the question whom, you get the indirect object. So gifted whom? Me. So this is the indirect object. So to change the voice, you need an object. If there is no object, you cannot change the voice. If your sentence is, she sang She sang. She sang what? She sang whom? There's no object. There's no object. So a sentence like this cannot be changed. The voice cannot be changed. If it was she sang a song, then yes, you can. Then you will say a song was sung, not sang, was sung by her. Now, this brings us to what is transitive. What is transitive and intransitive? Kuch nahi, it is simple. This is intransitive and this is transitive. Means what? When the verb has an object, it means that is transitive. When there is no object, it is intransitive. Okay. Where is the switch? So put it off, I'll put this fan. Now I'll give what you put it off now. You change your place. Sit somewhere else. So you can change the voice only if you have an object. How do you find out the object? By asking what or whom to the verb. Now if I give you a sentence. Transitive or intransitive? Change the voice. Hey, hello. You change your place. Don't waste your time now. What will be the change the voice?
There is no object.
There is no object. So there is no object. The sun rises where? Right? What do we want? So you cannot say in the east the sun rises. So here in this case there is no object. The verb has been used intransitively. You cannot have a passive for this. Is this clear? The second thing is the change in tense. I'll ask you one sentence. Tell me the change in voice. The cat killed the rat. Unnecessarily don't talk, huh, boys. सुनाई देता है मेरे को. So we'll first take present. Present continuous. Present perfect. Now remember these tenses They have no passive. These cannot be transformed. Which tenses? The perfect continuous, all the three, present, past, and future, and the future continuous cannot be transformed. Okay. You have the other 8. So you'll have 1, 2, 3. Then for the past, you'll have 1, 2, 3, and 2 for the future. So suppose now your sentence is he. What will be the simple future for write? He writes a book. What is the present continuous? And what is the present perfect? Now when you want to change this, what will you change this to? A book is written by him. See, now some of you all said a book was written. The tense will not change. This is in the present tense. Your answer will be in the present tense. Don't write now. I'll give you time to write. I'll give you time to write. Okay, don't write now. Just listen, pay attention. I'll give you enough time to write. Okay. So if he writes a book will change to a book is written. So this is tells you that it is in the present. He is writing a book.
A book is written.
A book. Sorry, present it is. A book is being written which girls are talking. He has written a book. A book has been written by him. Okay, now you remember 2 things. In the present continuous, you will have BEING, and perfect you will have BW. Okay, so similar to this, similar to this, if you're writing in the past, tell me for simple past, he wrote a book. A book continuous. He a book. Perfect, past perfect. He had written, past. A book. Small changes happening. Has is changing to had. Is changes to was. Is changes to was. Future. Simple future. He will write. A book will be written by him. So instead of is, you're saying will be. Rest will be the same. Here there is nothing. Perfect. Okay, the future continues, there is no passive. Okay, so perfect. Future perfect. He. Future perfect. Ranveer, don't write now. I'm giving you time to write. Future perfect. He will have written a book. A book will have been written by him. So now I want you all to write this. First write it in the present, then the future, and then the past, then the future. ये क्या feeling? Be able to make out. Pen use कर. वो तेरे डैड बोलना होता है. काम मत that I will want to do. Metaphor. I'll ask you all different examples of metaphors in the next class. Each one has to tell metaphor because personification you all have understood. तो तुम चाह रही क्या बस सब सेम टाइप के बनाओगे चलो दिस यू हैव अंडरस्टूड इसमें कुछ डाउट्स है ये क्लियरली समझाना finish with present which हाँ कुछ रीजन से वो एग्जांपल दे रहे हो ना तो वो भी ओके प्रेजेंट वाला फिनिश राइटिंग नाउ राइट फिनिश ना फॉर श्योर
Yes, ma'am.
he's writing right नहीं he has not finished right fast last one you're writing ना इसका फिनिश का तो फिर तू मेरे को साइड में जाने को क्यों बोल रहा था so do it no I'm not rubbing I don't have to rub the entire just what is required so you're now I mean write it again for your past simple past past continuous past perfect he wrote a book was written he was writing don't make changes there write again don't do what I am a book was being he had written a book had been right नहीं होता what you're saying future also after past you have to write simple future and future perfect two you have to write for future you finish writing past huh लिख दिया हाँ तो future he will have written perfect will be he will have written a book will have been written while talking you finish writing past write future Review. Past is done. So now you write future. Look, अगली बार बैठो यार, continuously you're not talking. Maximum distraction is from drills. नया बनाना है. तुम लोग क्या कट करके मैस कर. You have to write again. You'll have to redo it. This you don't have. This you don't have. You consider him रणवीर. हाँ, इधर डिस्ट्रैक्शन है और तू डिस्ट्रैक्शंस के साथ बैठेगा. तू भी डिस्ट्रैक्शन है तो वो डिस्ट्रैक्शन बढ़ रहा है ना. तू अलग बैठ, नेक्स्ट क्लास से अलग बैठ. ये लोग चारों भी गड़बड़ करते हैं, चारों को भी अलग करना पड़ेगा. All four of you are in the same class? No, not the same section. Not the same school also. Who is not? अच्छा. इसके traits are like Ryan only. Your behavioral traits are typically like a Ryan student. Ryan are typical of their behavior. क्या? बिलाल क्या? कौन? कौन है बिलाल? क्यों? In what way? Then D. Who's the class teacher? If it's a good class, then good. She is at peace, at least for this year. Huh? Your same class? And good. Poonam ma'am is also good. She is not like used. Huh? That now every teacher will have her limit, no? Huh? Mm. Eunice ma'am has got which class? No, class.
I guess 12 or 11. No, 8.
The class that she has got must be a naughty class. Because she keeps the class extremely disciplined. So ideally she must have got a naughty class. Okay. अच्छा चलो बातें बंद. Write down this exercise. Change the voice. Irritated. Ting. Ting. Who is sitting here? Why you moved? Change the voice. I'll give you these sentences. You leave a line. Don't write the answer now. First, Kaushal, what did you write? Did you write change the voice?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First, Lata sings. Lata sings lovely songs. These are very simple. And secondly, passive, active, passive with this doesn't get over. What we have not done, tell me. Interrogatives we have not done. Interrogatives, passive voice. We sing the song. How was the song sung by her? So that an imperative I have not put lovely. Second sentence, write down. So first one, Lata sings lovely songs. Second sentence, leave a line for the answer. So leave 2 lines at least. एक extra line नहीं छोड़ेगा कंजूस. Next. Second, we did not grow rice. We did not. Good. She left extra. We did not. We. W-E. We did not grow rice. Third, they will run a race.
मैम थर्ड नंबर आप क्या बोले?
Third, they will run a race. Fourth, a house is being built by Tom. A house is being built by Tom. B-E-I-N-G. कुछ नहीं है. A house is being built by Tom. Fifth sentence. A letter was being written by me. A letter was being written by me. Sixth, someone has stolen my purse. Seventh, she had finished her work. She had finished her work. Good. Seventh sentence, she had finished her work. Eighth, he will be admired by people. He will be admired by people. Ninth, the thieves have been arrested. The thieves have been arrested.
The thieves has or have.
HAVE, thieves, plural. Have, HAVE. Tenth, we have shipped your order. We have shipped, PPED, shipped, SHIPPED, shipped your order. Likha. Wrote or what? We have shipped your order. 11th sentence. The guests enjoyed the party. Tenth, 12th, the child impressed everyone with his polite manners. The child impressed everyone with his polite manners. 13, they are painting the wall. 13th, they are painting the wall. 14, a girl from Chennai won the first prize. A girl from Chennai won the first prize. Next, 15th, the car has been fixed. The car has been fixed by the mechanic. The car has been fixed by the mechanic. Done? Okay, now this you all will do for homework. You all can pack your bags. I'll ask you oral questions. Pack quietly without opening your mouth. Next time you bring your notebook. But he doesn't talk so much, so you're better with him. Okay. Start from you. I'll ask everyone first. He writes an essay.
An essay was written.
Was how?
Is written by.
Sheena does the homework. Was done.
Is signed by.
Sheena. She cares for the rabbit. Was everything
मैम
cared for?
मैम
Yes.
मेरा एक डाउट है मर्चेंट ऑफ वेनिस में, आप बोल देना कि अगर कोई डाउट हो तो पूछ लेना.
Merchant of Venice. Okay, let this class get over. उसके बाद फिर I'll answer your doubts.
ओके मैम.
ये लोग सब है ना 8:30 तक, उसके बाद फिर. Jacob always plays the guitar. They are eating bananas. Ranveer. She is waiting for Rima. She is waiting for Rima. Ball. Passive. ये active है, passive नहीं है. Rima is waiting for her, for she. She is waiting for Rima. So change it. दोनों चुपचाप बैठ. You tell. She is waiting for Rima.
मैम Rima was making her wait.
Rima? What?
Rima was making her wait.
No. She is waiting for Rima. Rima is being waited for by her. Rima is being waited for by her. She is waiting. लिखो, लिखना है तो. She is waiting for Rima. Rima is being waited for by her. Then next one. I'll ask you some interrogatives now. चलो. कौन बोलेगा? Turn who's in turn. Your next one. This one, Krish. Has he done the work? Has he done the work? Who will tell? Next. Who ball? Has he done the work? It's a question in active voice. You have to change it into a question in passive. Acha, chal. Sentence I'm asking you. He has, who knows? Who knows? Eh, तू देख रहा है? The sentence is, now this is whoever knows, okay? Has he done the work? Change the voice. Raise your hand, don't answer out of turn.
Has the work done?
Has the work been done by him? Question only I'm asking you. Have they left the apartment? 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 Yes, very good. Has the apartment been left by them? Next, whose turn? Now it's a regular sentence. So whose turn was it? He created this masterpiece. Was everything? What am I changing the tense? He created this masterpiece. This, did you say? Huh. He read, no, 1 minute, I'll still. Rita paid the bills. Your turn. Rita paid. Sir, तुम लोग चुपचाप बैठो. What is going on? Rita paid the bills. The teacher called the students. Teacher called. She did not buy the fruits. She did not stand up. She did not buy the fruits. Don't get misled, okay? Because they themselves don't know properly, they'll mislead you. She did not buy the fruits. The fruits were not bought by her. See, you didn't get misled, you gave the correct answer. तू कुछ और बोल रहा था. Same बोला. They were waiting for him. They were waiting for him. He was being waited for by them. Astha was learning French. She was playing kabaddi. She was playing kabaddi. He will write a letter. A letter. If it's a, you will say a. You won't change it to a letter. They will have won the match. They will have won the match. Will changes to what in a direct, indirect speech, not here. The match will have been won by them. Now I'll give you one more because he gave this answer. Meena will not have changed the bed sheet. Will not have been changed by Meena. He will repair her cycle. He will repair her cycle. Her cycle. Repair. See, if it's दोनों ही, एक जो देख रहा है, दूसरा जो बोल रहा है मैं तो बहुत इनोसेंट हूँ, दोनों की तरफ देख रही हूँ, गड़बड़ कर रहा है ना, बातें कर रहा है उधर. नेक्स्ट योर टर्न. He will, did I ask this? He will write a letter? I asked. I'm calling sure. He had missed the last metro. The last metro had been missed. She is playing the piano. I'll ask you another one. Bob is drawing a diagram. कौन था वो? ये इसको क्या है तेरे को? बॉब है तो बॉबी, टॉम है तो टॉमी, लवली है तो लवली ली. He shall start the meeting. Okay. Should I ask you all inter? Let me see. Let me see how many are able to answer. Now, please understand, I am asking you. I didn't ask you. Please understand, I am not asking you question answer. I am asking you interrogatives that you have to change. Okay, the voice. Okay, Kaushal, give me this answer. Hey, shut up. Kaushal, you're mad. He lights the candle.
The candle is been lighted by him.
I can't hear him, boys. Yes?
मैम एक और बार क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर दीजिए.
He lights the candle.
The candle is been lighted by him.
Okay, the candle is lighted or
Being
lit, lighted or lit by him. And now I'm asking you all. Y'all means Kaushal, even you can answer. These are interrogatives. Raise your hand if you know. And don't tell me yes, no. I'm not asking questions. Do you light the candle? Do you light the candle? Change the voice. Candle lighted by you. Am I अस्सी हजार का तो क्या लगता है वो 80,000 का? Okay, next sentence. Are you driving a car? Raise your hand. Raise your hand and answer. Are you driving a car? बोल अभी हाथ रेस करता पूछ. Good, very good. This side. Did she finish her work? Kaushal, you can also answer. Did she finish her work? Was the work finished by her? Chalo, see you all next week. You four, listen, all of you, sit down 2 minutes. ये 4 लोग खड़े रहो. ये चौथा. Ranveer, you will be there. You 4 are not going to sit together. When you all come, तुम लोग अपना बैग्स के साथ इधर ही खड़े रहोगे. अगर मैं नहीं रहूंगी तो मैं तुम लोग को जगह दूंगी कहाँ बैठना. Okay? And metaphor. Example. Go. Bye. Bye. Bring your notebook. You have done it? Yes, Kaushal.
Ma'am, upon in the Act 3, Scene 2, line number
1 minute.
26.
Wait 1 minute. 1 minute. कोण करतोय एंड करा नुसतं नाही पण तो कौशलला काय डाऊट आहे ते मी क्लिअर करते पण आपलं हे सेशन एंड करायचं हा ते झालं ते पण त्याला बाहेर नाही काढायचं नाही हा पाहिजे मला याच्या बरोबर वेट हा कौशल
Yes, sir.